My girlfriend kissed another guy at a party while someone shouted, "Yo, your girl just got claimed!" They filmed my reaction to humiliate me. A week later, the whole plan leaked and her perfect little life went up in flames. Ever watch someone dig their own grave and hand you the shovel? That's basically what happened when my girlfriend and her crew thought staging my humiliation would be a laugh. Here's everything from the beginning. I'd been with Maya for about a year and a half. I'm 27, she's 24. I'm quiet, work in IT, prefer small groups and predictable weekends. Maya is the opposite. Loud, magnetic, a person who walks into parties like she invented the space. I liked how different we were for a while. She brought a kind of messy, social energy that made my life less boring. Then I started seeing how much of that energy relied on performing for other people, and how often she reached for drama like it was air. A week before Ethan's birthday party, Ethan being the friend she'd known longest in that circle, things went sideways. Ethan throws the kind of downtown apartment parties that are overloaded with people, music too loud to think, and a balcony that is basically a nicotine cocktail bar. I knew Ethan by association. I wasn't close to him. He had a girlfriend, Claire, who was quieter and didn't seem to love the chaos the way the rest did. Then there's Logan, the guy who's always got a camera out, always cracking a joke at the wrong moment. He's the type who thinks every awkward thing can be turned into content. For several days before the party, Maya was glued to her phone. Not just checking it. She was actively laughing at messages, turning it face down when I looked over. When I asked casually what was up, she said, "Oh, Ethan and Logan are being idiots," and put the phone away. I let it drop. Then, one night, I was over while she was in the shower and her phone buzzed on the counter. The preview flashed, "Logan, this is going to be hilarious." I didn't touch it, but the message stuck in my head. Hilarious for who? 2 days before the party, she started making a fuss that I come. Usually she didn't care whether I tagged along. "Adam, you have to come," she said, grabbing my arm. "It won't be the same without you." The insistence felt off. I said, "Okay," because I wanted to be a supportive boyfriend and also because I figured it was normal. But the grin she gave me as she said it looked like she already knew something I didn't. By Friday, I noticed another name in her texts. Lucas. "Who's Lucas?" I asked. Her reply was immediate and clipped. "Old friend from college." And she switched the topic to what she should wear. Quick, nervous, too tidy an answer. It tugged at the edge of my brain in the way small things do when a bigger pattern is forming. Saturday night arrived and I told myself to chill. People stage things at parties, pranks happen, everyone's doing something dumb. Spoiler, this wasn't just a dumb prank. The second we walked into Ethan's apartment, the something landed like a punch. Logan was right there with his phone out, not casually filming but already positioned, waiting. Ethan shot Maya a look that was not welcome, but an internal cue, like two people who'd rehearsed a move. Maya was in her element. She immediately started hugging people, orbiting conversations, soaking up the attention. I hung back in the kitchen where I could watch everything. About an hour in, the door opened and Lucas walked in, tall, confident, carrying that easy smile of someone who maybe had no idea he was being used in a scene. Maya squealed his name and ran over. The hug lingered. She laid a hand on his arm, leaned in when he talked. It was flirtatious enough to be noticeable, except everyone around the living room was not watching them like onlookers. They were watching me. There were glances. There were those little sideways smiles. Ethan kept nodding at the right moments. Logan edged closer with his camera, angling it like he was framing something. The whole vibe shifted from chatty to anticipatory. I felt like a target. Then, Ethan clapped loudly enough to cut through the music and announced, "Truth or dare?" Groans, laughter, people settled into the circle. Maya waved me in. "Come on, don't be lame." So I sat down, a slow, creeping sickness in my throat. Ethan arranged the circle with a theatrical precision that would have been funny in a different context. Maya landed directly across from me. Logan set himself opposite, as if the camera's line should run straight to my face. Lucas sat a couple spots from Maya. The bottle spun, routine stuff. First spin hit someone with a silly truth and people laughed. Second spin landed on Maya. Ethan's grin widened. "Truth or dare?" he asked. "Dare," she said, like this was the part she'd been waiting for. He drew the word out. "I dare you to kiss Lucas." The room exploded. Someone whistled. Logan's phone was already zooming in on them. Maya didn't hesitate. She turned, kissed Lucas, full on, hand on his cheek. It was not a goofy peck to play along. It was a full moment. People cheered. Someone shouted, "Adam, your girl just got claimed!" And as though that cue had been the plan, Logan swung the camera to my face and held it there for a long, uncomfortable 10 seconds. I didn't react like a movie. I froze. I had no line. I sat like a statue while the room collapsed into laughter from wherever their amusement came. They were laughing at me. That was the worst part, the way the group had turned me into an object of entertainment. Maya got up smiling like it was a stunt. Lucas looked vaguely embarrassed. Ethan looked smug. And Logan had captured exactly the look I had on my face while the sound of people laughing echoed. I left. I walked out and nobody stopped me. Outside, the city air felt like a bucket of cold water. My hands shook while I sat in the car. I wasn't ready to be angry yet. The blow had numbed me instead. Later that night, she posted an Instagram story from a greasy diner with Lucas and others captioned "Single Girl Summer Vibes," as though nothing in our previous 24 hours mattered. The next day, she texted me, cheerfully, "Hey babe, what's up?" I stared at it for a long minute and replied, "Are you serious?" She fired back, almost immediately, "Don't tell me you're actually mad." It was a party game. It didn't mean anything, I wrote. "You kissed another guy in front of a room and they filmed my reaction." That was humiliating. She answered, "God, you're so dramatic." It was a dare, Adam. Chill. She tried to gaslight me into shame. "You're possessive," she said. "You can't take a joke." The rest of the world's opinion, apparently, mattered more to her than how it felt to the person she'd supposedly chosen to be with. Her text made me angrier, but it also made something settle in me. This felt planned, not spontaneous. Ethan's face, Logan's phone already at the ready, the way everyone looked at me like they were waiting for my meltdown. That evening, Claire messaged, "Hey, can we meet? There's something you should see." Claire was Ethan's girlfriend, the quieter person in that cluster. We met at a coffee near her work. She didn't look happy. She explained Ethan had left his iPad unlocked at home and that their group chat synced to it. She screen recorded the chat because she couldn't keep sitting on it. She held her phone out, pressed play, and what played made my skin crawl. The messages were not joking around. "Make sure Lucas shows up," Ethan wrote. Logan typed something like, "Adam's just gonna stand there, LOL." And then Maya, "He won't do anything." Trust me, they'd discussed where people should sit so Logan could get a clean angle, how to hype it in the moment. Everything from logistics to the line about claimed was written out in a chat thread like a script. I felt cold. Angry is useless without proof. I had proof now. Claire said she couldn't let me keep thinking it was random. She slid her phone over and told me she'd only recorded it because she couldn't stand it. I thanked her and left with a brain that had shifted from shocked to furious in the space of a few minutes. That night, I texted Lily, Logan's girlfriend, because if Logan had the video, Lily probably had a copy. She replied that he'd airdropped it to her for their shared album. 5 minutes later, I had the footage in my pocket. Watching it again was worse than the memory. Maya and Lucas kissing, people cheering, someone yelling the line about claimed. And then Logan carting the camera over to my face and holding it on me as if I were a spectacle. I watched the part where the camera held on me for 10 seconds, and I wanted to smash the phone into a wall. I reached out to Lucas the next day. I asked to meet. He was blandly apologetic when I played him the clip and the messages. "She told me she and you were basically done," he said. "That kissing me would make you see she wanted out." I didn't know this was some show for others. He sounded like someone embarrassed, not a conspirator. He said he'd tell anyone who asked that he hadn't been in on a setup. I'm not naive. People say whatever looks best in public. But he genuinely looked taken aback when he read Maya's messages about seating and the plan. I still wanted Maya's voice saying it. So I asked to meet, to talk. She was breathe easy casual. I went over, and because I'd checked the law earlier and knew it was a one-party consent state, I hit record on my phone before walking in. I kept my voice neutral, asking plainly, "Was the dare random?" She laughed like it was absurd. "Adam, seriously, it was a party game." I pushed. She eventually sighed and admitted almost flippant, "Okay, maybe they joked about it a couple days earlier. We thought it would be funny. You get jealous about everything. It was supposed to show you I can talk to other guys without the world ending." She actually said those words. It was supposed to show you. I left with the recorder still on, a stack of screenshots, backed up. The video saved, Lucas in my back pocket ready to back me up if needed. That Sunday, she invited me to dinner with her parents. I accepted, not because I wanted to humiliate her in front of them. Well, I will own that I did. But because the stakes felt right. A quiet, public place where a calm reveal would land hard. Dinner was at a cozy Italian place where the noise level was low and people spoke in polite tones. Her parents were warm, doing normal parent small talk about hiking and fishing. She laughed and hooked a hand through mine like we were an item on the page. Midway through dessert, her dad, being the nice guy he is, asked, "So Adam, how are things with you two? Everything good?" It was my cue. I put my phone on the table. "Actually," I said, "there's something you should see." I texted Lucas, who was waiting a few tables away at the bar. "Now." Then I hit play on the video. There it was, on full display, Ethan prompting, Maya leaning in, that long staged kiss, the cheering, the shout about me, Logan's zoom on my face. The restaurant might as well have stopped breathing. Her parents stared down at the screen in horror. I pushed a printed stack of the chat screenshots toward them, black text on white paper with timestamps and names. Ethan, make sure Lucas shows up. Logan, Adam's gonna just stand there LOL. Maya, he won't fight back. Trust me, I hit play on the recording of Maya admitting the plan. Her voice came out clear. A couple days before the party bow, we thought it would be funny. It was supposed to show you I can talk to other guys without the world ending. Her mother covered her mouth. Her father, who had been smiling moments before, looked like someone had handed him a different, uglier truth about his daughter. Lucas walked in as planned and, when called over, told them he had no idea it was staged. He said exactly what he'd told me. She told him their relationship was over, and kissing him would be a wake-up call for me. He said he wouldn't have kissed her if he had known it was being prepped for a crowd. She looked like someone who had been caught. People often ask whether I felt satisfied standing up there and revealing it to them. The weird truth is that the calm, flat moment when you lay out the receipts is more disorienting than vengeful. I did it because I didn't want to be the punchline anymore. I left before the questions started. That night the phone lit up. She accused me of ruining her life. She accused me of humiliation. I let the messages pile up. There was no victory dance, just a fatigue that felt like swallowing a pill that tastes awful but works. What followed in the next week was social arithmetic that happens too fast in friend groups built on a flimsy amusement culture. Claire dumped Ethan. Lily dumped Logan. People I had only nodded to at parties DM'd me saying, "We didn't know." Screenshots of the planning chat circulated and the reactions shifted. The tone changed from, "That's messed up," to, "Why would you do that?" Ethan posted his own rant about fake friends, but with his name all over the messages, no one took him seriously. Logan went quiet. His feed went private. The kind of people who had laughed at someone's embarrassment a week ago suddenly found themselves isolated when the evidence came out. Then Maya's meltdown happened in a way that sealed it. She showed up at my apartment one evening and, in a voice that started in pleading and ended in venom, yelled that I had ruined her life. "My parents barely talk to me," she gasped. "People hate me." I told her she set it up. She said I'd ruined it. Then, in a slip she couldn't take back, she snarled, "Maybe you deserved it. You're boring. You never fight back. Maybe humiliating you would teach you something." She basically voiced the premise of the whole ridiculous plan, as if it were a psychological experiment. Coincidentally, not. Our neighbor Aaron had been lingering in the hallway and recorded her. He sent the clip to me. When I forwarded that to Claire and the others, it landed like a detonator. The "maybe you deserved it" line spread and made people recoil. Suddenly the whole outfit looked monstrous, not clever. Ethan scrambled and tried to pin things on her. That didn't stick. People in the group chat who'd laughed began deleting their posts, apologizing or just vanishing. Social currency evaporated overnight. A week later, the group that had been the center of their little social universe had fallen apart. Ethan and Claire split. Logan and Lily stopped having anything to do with public-facing social media together. Lucas blocked Maya. Friends I'd seen at those parties reached out, saying they felt sick about what had happened and how it had been faked to make a joke at someone else's expense. Maya's social feed went dark. She posted a long, defensive wall of text and deleted it within an hour after the replies shredded it. She texted me one last time weeks later, "You'll regret this when everyone forgets, and I'm still the one people talk about." I never replied, because the thing is, they already forgot her. The way attention moves fast and then moves on. They'll remember the stunt, the cruelty, the line she used to excuse it, and the people who laughed. Those images stick. I don't tell this to boast. I'm not here to celebrate someone's fall. I'm saying what I learned. Silence isn't strength when people are actively laughing at you. People who think humiliation is content will stage a show and call it a joke. If you care about yourself, sometimes you need to document, collect, and present the truth so that the narrative doesn't default to you being the unstable one. I learned to save receipts. I learned to trust the small, quiet people who told me things that didn't line up. And I learned that exposing the truth doesn't always feel good. It just ends the laughter. If there's a takeaway for anyone reading, if someone treats you like a prop, you don't owe it to them to be the good sport. Be the human who decides not to be the punchline. Show the receipts, call the bluff. The rest will take care of itself.